Welcome back. So I know it is kind of overwhelmed for me to come here and talk about a new project every single day, but guys, this is what I do. I farm airdrop. So maybe you're kind of new into airdrop, or maybe you're just trying to find a good list so you can start with. This is the video. At least you can use it as a guideline on maybe what you like, maybe what you don't like. And obviously I'm going to be sharing why I do like this project and what I am doing on each one of them. So this is actually my top priority for Q1 2024, and most likely we should move some of them into Q2. So here's the list. So let's go straight into it. But before that, please leave a like and subscribe. This is completely free, and obviously comes with some luck if you do leave a like and subscribe for your airdrop. So number one on my list is obviously ZK Sync. I've been using it for the past 10 months. My ranking is actually pretty good at 2%. Also volume at 17, 18K, interaction at 193, so almost 200 transactions. So I'm doing pretty good. So my goal is just to continue to add as much volume as possible, to continue to use it, and hopefully receive a pretty large airdrop. Usually we get some pretty good airdrop out of blockchains. Just check Arbitrum, OP, Aptos. So usually they're pretty good. Here on this website on zksync.netlify.app, you have the option to check it or to compare it to the Arbitrum requirement. Obviously, that is for Arbitrum, but we can still use it as a guideline. You guys can see here, I've been using it for over 9 months, used the native bridge, more than $10,000 in volume, more than 100 transactions. I also use ZK Lite many times, so I'm doing actually pretty good. So my goal here is just to continue to be active on ZK Sync, but at the same time use tokenless projects like maybe Odos, maybe Jumper. I even used ZK Swap in the past, which I received an airdrop for it, which was around $220. Even though it wasn't big, still you need to be using something to farm ZK Sync. So why not using something that is tokenless so you can at least receive an airdrop? If it is big, good. If it is small, still good, because still you need to be using something. So that right there is basically covering my fees for ZK Sync. So number one is ZK Sync. Number two on the list is obviously the ecosystem of Celestia Injective and also Atom. So number one, we have Injective. What I'm doing is trying to hit 2 birds with 1 stone. So I'm staking with Black Panther Validator so I can receive their airdrop. But since I'm staking with a validator, that might increase my chances of receiving any other airdrop that is using that as a requirement. Usually it is just by staking with a validator. For the amount, most likely I'm going to try to push it above 10 Injective. On a weekly basis, I'm just adding a little bit more. For Celestia, extremely bullish on that one. I have 6.21 staking into 2 different validators. You don't need to choose 2. I just went with 2 just to test it out. Also, I'm staking around 8 Injective on, 8 Celestia tokens on the LST protocol Milky Way. I'm extremely bullish on that one. And also the airdrop is confirmed. So right there, another airdrop for this year. Then lastly, we have Atom, which I'm staking on Prism, however you say it, which is an L1 blockchain that is being built. So also there is no minimum. So you can stake 1, 10, 100, 1,000, whatever you like. I am going with a 11, then I will be increasing my position. But again, at the same time, since it is a validator, I'm basically increasing my chances for any future airdrop. So that is number 2 on my list, and also pretty easy to do. Once you stake your tokens, there is really nothing else to do. And if you like the token, that's actually a pretty good thing to do. So you can, in the future, maybe claim it in 2025, but at the same time, you're getting airdrops, you're getting some APR on your token. So that's actually quite good. On Celestia, I was purchasing between $11, $10, $12. So right now I'm in profit. So that is pretty good. Next on the list is Kinza. This is a confirmed airdrop. By the way, confirm, and it is backed by Binance. The airdrop is by Q1, so that is for April 2024. The TVL has been growing massively, dude. I did a video like 8 days ago, and the TVL was $82 million. Right now it is 145 million, but the good thing is the amount of users is still at 64,000. So not bad, and most likely you could even remove like 30% of these users that might not receive the airdrop, maybe because they're a ghost wallet, they haven't added enough volume, they haven't played with the protocol enough. So most likely not 64,000 will be receiving the airdrop. For some information here, 5% will be airdrop for the token, so it will be airdropping for users. Then it will be based on the point system. So for every $100 that you add into the platform, every 24 hours you will be getting 1 point. If it is 1,000, then you get 10 points. And the good thing is it is quite simple to use. You just stake some money, so you supply some funds, you can even borrow against it and do some looping, and that's it. You really leave your funds there and you just wait to get some points, and hopefully you can receive a pretty nice airdrop. So right now, since it is 145 million in TVL, let's say that they can grow that to maybe 300 million in TVL, just to put out a number. So 5% airdrop would be around 15 million. So not bad, not the biggest airdrop, but we have it right there around the corner, so we can participate in the meantime. And you're not taking transaction, spending money on gas fee. You just need to allocate some funds, and that's it. Obviously, do your own research. Make sure that you do know the risk behind it, and then you can obviously follow and start playing with it. Next, let's go ahead and pull number 4, which is Hyperliquid. This is a project that I do like a lot. It is a trading platform on Arbitrum, and they started a point system on November the 1st, and they said it will be for the next 6 months. So most likely by the end of March, the point system is topping, then we might have the airdrop. So for you to participate, the only thing you need to do is just taking some transaction on Hyperliquid. Then you'll be getting some points, which you will be getting it every Thursday. So every Thursday, you'll be able to see your points. My strategy here is just taking transaction with some leverage whenever there is not a lot of movement. On ETH, I open a position for 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then I close it. That's it. My goal is not to make money. It's just to get as much volume as possible. That's it. So Hyperliquid, pretty interesting. Also, if we quickly check the stats, I think the TVL is around, let's see. So total volume, 29 billion. Total deposit is 267 million. So pretty huge. But also the amount of users is around 30,000. So let's see. So right here, this should load anytime. There we go. It is at 33,000. So guys, pretty huge project. So really in my top priority. So Hyperliquid is number 4. Number 5 on my list is another blockchain, which is Scroll. So Scroll, I do think it is kind of on the farm in comparison to ZK Sync and Linea, and also it is quite new. I think they started like 3 or 4 months ago. You guys can see some of my stats. I am at 1.60%. So I am in the top right now. Great. Interaction 63, volume 11K, and you can also use the Arbitrum requirement as your guideline to know what you're doing, and obviously follow it and continue to use it. With this type of project, it is good to just be consistent, to add volume, and just increase your volume. Use the bridge deposit, use different protocols. Obviously try to add maybe some protocols that are tokenless like MarginFi Finance, and obviously increase your chances of receiving multiple airdrops. So Scroll is number 5 for me. Number 6 on the list is the Solana Ecosystem. I do like it, even though I think it is not on the farm, but still, if you have a good strategy, you can actually hit 3 birds with 1 stone. Which number 1, I would allocate like $300, just using a number. It really depends on what you can use, but let's say $300 worth of USDC. I would supply that or lend it into the platform and then borrow against it. I would borrow maybe $250, $240 worth of USDT. Then I would go to Kamino and then stake it into Kamino. So I'm basically lending that money into Kamino and then borrowing some Solana, some Jito, whatever it is from Kamino. And then lastly, I would go to Meteora and also stake it. Meteora doesn't have the option for you to borrow against it. So that should be the last part or the last step. So right there with $300, $500, whatever is your capital, you can farm 3 projects at the same time. So number 6 for me is Meteora. By the way, I'm going to be adding the link for each one of them, the guides that I have on them. Also, there is some referral link. So for example, for Hyperliquid, you do get a discount. For Kinza, you do get more points if you use my referral code or any other referral code. So make sure that you use one of them, and I'm going to be adding the guide. Lastly on the list is Romo. So right now, Romo, I'm just using a simple strategy, which is by using OmniBTC, because OmniBTC is tokenless and they give you the route for you to do Romo. So one, you're taking a transaction by using OmniBTC, which is tokenless. Second, you're also adding some volume on Romo. So right here, you have the option. So from Matic to BNB, let's say that I am sending 100 Matic. I can choose Romo. So basically, I'm sending some fund using the router. So I'm farming 2 projects at the same time. You also have the option to use layer 0. The only thing is layer 0 is not my top priority anymore, just because of the amount of users they have. Romo is worth around $2.25 billion, while layer 0 is worth around 2.8 billion. So it is very similar, but the amount of users is just madness. For layer 0 is around 3 to 4 million, but for Romo is around 200, 300, maybe 400,000 users. So the likelihood of us receiving a larger airdrop from Romo is actually better. So right there, this is the list. Again, this is my focus, but I'm still gonna be farming many other projects. Right now, my money, my time is first going into this project, and then I do allocate some more funds into some other project. Now, if you have any questions, maybe you still don't know where you should start, there is an email address in the description which you can reach out. And I'm also now doing some coaching, which is one-on-one. It is not a group, it is not a course. It is actually yourself with myself. We do 30 days, so we check what project we can farm based on your capital, based on your time, on your knowledge. And also, I'm a pain in the ass because you need to tell me every single day what you have been doing. We check your transaction, how we can minimize your fees, maximize your gains, so on and so forth. So if it is something that interests you, you can reach out. But for these projects, I think most likely we should be able to hit minimum 10K. Guys, I did from Arbitrum 3.7K. From Pith, I did 2.5, 2.6K. And with this strategy, with all of these projects, you should be farming at least 18 projects in total. Obviously, just because you're using ZK Sync and using some protocol that are tokenless, then Scroll, some protocol that are tokenless, Romo, you're also using OmniBTC, then all of the other projects that you might receive on Celestia. So in total, even if you do $1,000, $500 per airdrop, most likely by the end of Q2, we should be able to do at least $10,000 if we do it correctly. So make sure to check it out. Make sure to check the guides. If you have any questions, any doubts, just reach out so I can help you out. Thank you for watching. If this was helpful enough, please share it with a friend, subscribe, like. Happy farming, guys. Bye-bye.